Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else. Now, you know what? If you're not a man or a woman, just fucking leave. Oh no, sorry. Just go. No, I'm joking. Don't worry. We need the views. I'm kind of struggling, but anyway, welcome to AMA 15. We're stacking the numbers, baby. 15 in now. So I'm Coach Prez. I'm a football coach, self-proclaimed blue belt philosopher, and almost an amateur MMA fighter. But I was forced to pull out of my fight, so I can't really call myself that. But anyway, what we do is we start every podcast talking about sport, mostly about football or whatever else, football, fitness, whatever it is. And then we move on to all the rest, philosophy, self-improvement, although this word is it's overused, not self-improvement, but let's say introspective thinking, let's call it that. And just anything whatever the questions are or whatever comes to my brain. Okay, just before I go into the more serious topics, I just want to touch on the Ballon d'Or, which was given this Monday. Okay, so if anyone's not interested in football, you can just go through the timestamps in the contents and you can see what I'm talking about. I've put in the work and I always get the timestamps, so it's nice and easy, and you can watch whatever you're interested in. Okay, so the Ballon d'Or was just given. Rodri won it, which I'm very pleased with. Rodrigo Hernandez from Man City, and it was deserved. And I haven't seen, there is some backlash, all these Real Madrid players, they didn't go to the ceremony. Why? Oh, in support of Vini. I don't understand. Why would he win it? That was gonna be the most undeserved Ballon d'Or of all time. He literally has 25 goals and like 10 or 11 assists. Since when is this a Ballon d'Or deserving season? That's like a normal season for like good winger. This is insane. Like the push for Vinicius, or even obviously the other contender, Carvajal. He's a right back, and he's not. I can probably name at least, without even thinking, 3 or 4 or 5 fullbacks that are better than him, like significantly. Why would he win it? It says, although the criteria is really messed up now, and maybe in another episode I'm going to talk about just how messed up the criteria for the Ballon d'Or is. You cannot give it to Carvajal. He's not good enough. He's just not good enough. Okay, he happened to be on the teams that won. Real Madrid, they got the Champions League and whatever other trophy they got, and Spain won the Euros. Okay, but did he play like a pivotal key role? No, he was just there. He was a right back. He's not. If he was maybe a centre back, then maybe I'll say, yeah, all right, you know what, so he was crucial. But no, he's a right back. Half of the times, the ball is on the other side of the pitch. 50% of the game, he's not really involved. Okay, this is just like mathematically, logically. Oh, come on. This would have been probably even more undeserved. Imagine, out of all players, all defenders, and you have only 2 defenders before that to win the Ballon d'Or, which is Franz Beckenbauer in the 70s and Fabio Cannavaro in 2006. And who's the third defender? Dani Carvajal, the legendary right back. Can you imagine? Oh my, don't even want to think about this. This would have been too much. But we got the rightful winner, Rodri. Exceptional player. Except one of the best midfielders that I have ever seen. Certainly for his position, a holding midfielder. His only competition is Busquets, to be honest. I've never seen anyone better. No one stands out. Obviously, we need to keep in mind there is recency bias here. Okay, so I've been exposed to Rodri for the past couple of years so much that he's kind of taking up the majority of my of the space in my head when I think about that. But still, holding midfielder like that, as I go through them, he's just got that extra. He's got that extra gear. He does what he does is very similar to Busquets in terms of like importance and just the way how calm he is on the ball and how he manages to find the right option every single time and how good he is at the like defending and everything. But then he's got that extra gear, which is he's actually useful attacking. He scored many like crucial goals. He can shoot. He's got good shooting. He's got everything. He's the level this guy is playing at is just insane. And all the haters can, oh, this guy's better. No, they're not. They're not. No one can. Just look at the stats. Even say it. Rodri broke the record for for the longest unbeaten run, 74 games in the history of European competition. So in the history of all European football, there's never been a player to have a longest unbeaten. So whenever Rodri starts, Man City don't lose. 74 games he started and City didn't lose. This is like 2 years. This is like a year and a half. Every game he played, they're not losing. That's insane. 74 unbeaten. That's all I need to say. I can show the stats. Oh, the stats are also in his favor. Can you imagine he's a holding midfielder and Vinicius, what he's got to show is like 25 goals and 10 assists, and Rodri's got like maybe 8 goals and 10 assists as a holding midfielder against like a left winger. He doesn't even track back Vinicius. He's just up there. I don't mind him. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but never a Ballon d'Or winner. Come on, let's calm down now. Okay. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. But if it was my way, just scrap that trophy. It shouldn't be given away anymore, because after the Messi and Ronaldo era, so many legends of the game, elite level players, they did not get a chance to win a Ballon d'Or because of Messi and Ronaldo. And now we've got this massive drop of quality, and now the players that are going to get the next Ballon d'Ors are going to be so they in the history of football, when you look back, you're going to be, oh, this guy's got one Ballon d'Or and this one doesn't, so he's probably better. Can you imagine? So they should just stop it now. Stop it, because I don't see anyone being at that level that deserves. No one is putting up these performances anymore. No one is dominating like that. Yeah, we only have a couple of players that score goals, that scored a lot of goals, which was who? Harry Kane, he scored a lot, and Haaland scores a lot. We don't know what's going to happen with Mbappe in Madrid, so we only have these two scoring goals. But like Haaland, he gets the goals, but he's not involved in the game. Like he's just, I can't have him win a Ballon. He needs to break a lot of records and basically have no competition to win it. Okay. Harry Kane, I don't see him winning it either. So, but he's a good player at least. But still, there's just no one now. Well, tough times in the world of football. Okay, moving on now. Ah, to get back to what I was talking about last week, which is my pull out of the fight and the injury. Why I mention it again is because this has been the first week I've had where I didn't really train every day. So I've had like spare time. I haven't had any spare time for months. My last 3 day before obviously this week, this Monday, I woke up and I was like, okay, I need to go to work, and then nothing. So it was so empty, depressingly empty. The last week that I had like that was when I was back in Bulgaria. I came back from Bulgaria 19th of August. So from the 19th of August until today, until obviously Monday, you're going to be watching this on Sunday, so 6 days. More than 2 months. Every day has been full to the top. From 6 in the morning to night. Till I go to bed. And now I have time off. And I have so much energy. Where do I put this energy? Still dealing with frustration. I still don't know what's happening with my injury. Don't exactly know. I really need to get it checked. So a lot of uncertainty. I can't really work out, so I can't really put my energy into it. I can't take my mind off it that easily, because when you work out, you're thinking about your workout. So I can't really do that, and that's all I've been doing. And I've got this extra surge of energy. And you know, when you're more energetic, it fuels your emotions a bit more. At least this is from my personal experience. Think about, guys, when you're tired, you don't really have, not that I've been tired, obviously I'm a machine. Machines don't get tired. But when you're tired and you're not as energetic anymore, so you don't really, people can tell you whatever they want to tell you, you're like, yeah, okay, mate, yeah. But when you're fresh and someone tells you, you're gonna have a different reaction. At least that's the majority. Yeah? Most people, oh, what, really? No way, da da da, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. So the reaction is big reaction to whatever. When you're tired, your reaction is kind of more, yeah, okay. So now I've got all this extra energy that has not been used, and I can't, nothing to put it in, because I physically cannot put it in something. So my thoughts are more infused with more energy. Energy is almost like the equivalent of emotion, and it's just, they go here, there, everywhere. Oh, what happens now? What happens? I'm like, not anxious, but I need something. It's nervous energy, basically. Whereas before, in the previous 14 episodes, when you see me, I'm calm, now I'm a bit more, you see, fidgety, not even fidgety, but nervous energy. I already started the podcast with like a silly comment. Inappropriate, maybe some people would say. If you think it's inappropriate, it's not good for you. What are you thinking? But anyway, I know a lot of people are like that. This is probably normal behavior for most. But obviously for me, and what I've been talking about for 14, 15 hours, these episodes, is dealing with that stuff. So now I need to take my own medicine. I need to take my own medicine. I need to take my own advice. So the good thing is that as we keep going through these episodes, now I've been put in a situation where I'm able to actually practice my philosophy and showcase, like, what am I made of? Who am I when things are not, obviously things haven't gone my way. I got injured. The injury is bad. My rib cage is not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. And I've got all this extra energy, and I kind of don't know what's happening. So in these situations, you need to exhale. Just kind of step back. Exhale, step back, and now inhale. And just appreciate the moment, okay? I don't want to sound like a Buddhist guru or a teacher. But it's literally what I do. I need to step back. So I'm coaching myself through the process. I need to step back, breathe. Whatever comes my way, comes my way. I'll sort it out. I'll deal with it. Let's say, worst case scenario, my rib cage can't really get fixed. It's left kind of bent or whatever it is. Can I live with it? Yeah. Is it the best? Not really, but can I live with it? Yeah. Sooner or later, my body is gonna adjust, adapt, or whatever. So I'm gonna be functional. I'm gonna be fine. I'll still be able to do the things that I want to do. So that's option one. So again, essentially what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to accept the negative outcome, the bad outcomes first. Then if everything's good, then everything is good. But again, let's say you've done that, and then what's the next step? Well, you need to, what's very important for you not to kind of ruin your time and waste your time is just try and be present. That's very easily said, but it's very difficult. So you need to keep your mind at the moment, oh, my rib, what's going to happen with this, what's going to happen with that. Just kind of train your brain to be able to put this to the side. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, okay? You need to still try and be useful and be useful. And what's the word? You need to be able to work, to operate in times of uncertainty. You still need to be good to go. Yeah, you still need to do things. You've got things to do. If you don't have things to do, as I'm kind of finding myself in this situation, I don't have training. What do I do with my evenings? Well, I went and watched one. The rest of the time, what I've done, we go back to the habits that I've established long before. For years, I've actually been working very hard to create positive habits. So now in this moment of uncertainty and bad times, if we can put it that way, although it's not the end of the world for me. It sucks, but I'll live, but less for the sake of the conversation. Not much of a conversation, is it? The monologue. But I imagine there is a conversation when I speak. Let's say we call that this is bad times for me. So I fall back to my habits, which are what? Reading. Okay, reading. All that extra energy that I didn't really have at my disposal because of all the training that I was doing, now I've got it back. And it obviously it translates into mental energy as well, physical, mental. That those things are linked, as I've said before. So what happens is now I'm able to read much more. It's much easier for me to focus, knowing that I'm not focusing on my fight. I don't really need to think about my fight all the time. Otherwise, I was still, let me watch this fight, let me watch that fight. What adjustments can? My mind was kind of preoccupied. I could still listen to some stuff and learn things, but I couldn't really go deep. I couldn't really, because the books that I usually engage with, they're difficult, and I understand that, so I didn't even make an effort. Because I'm kind of, some of it goes through one ear, goes out from the other. Okay, but now I've been able to do it, and I've already finished the book this week, and I've even started the second one. So the books that I've done, the book that I finished, which was interesting, educational, as I mentioned in the last podcast, it's called Attachment. Okay, what it talked about is the attachment styles that people have, obviously adults, and what they did that I found really interesting, and now I've been kind of using it as a framework to that I've used it as a framework, and I've looked at my past experiences or whatever through that framework, and it separated people into three categories in the attachment styles. That's what they talked. So you've got three categories where all people kind of go into one or two of them. Okay, most of the times it's one of them. So you've got anxious attachment style, secure, and avoidant. And now if you think about it, you can quite easily put everyone that you've ever known into one of these three. So what's the let's kind of explain them a little bit. So the secure style is what you have a relationship with someone, but you're secure. Okay, you're fine. You're really happy. You speak your mind. You're not worried about, oh, what if this guy doesn't like me? What if she doesn't like me? What if she leaves me? What if this? What if that? You're fine. You go into the relationship with an open heart, as they say, and you do your best. You don't really get jealous. You care for the other person. You're doing your best. You're willing to make you're willing to compromise. You're willing to accept this. You're willing to work to get to that point, to this point. You're willing to maybe sometimes let this pass, let that pass. Okay, make an exception here, there. Okay, so nice, secure person. It's very self-explanatory. I don't need to keep repeating myself. This is obviously the best one. Then we've got the avoidant one, which is people that are really trying hard to not to get attached. So they're avoiding it. And they have these mechanisms of detaching. As soon as they feel a little bit of that they start to develop feelings, they immediately pull back. So they are called avoidant. These people, you could say this is mostly, when men say, although it's not just men, there's certainly a lot of women that are like that. But if you think about Andrew Tate and what he says, most of the things he says would go into avoidant. Okay, avoidant attachment style, which is let me give you an example, like a good sentence that is a good example for avoidant. I am not really looking for anything serious at the moment, or If you go, it's fine, I'll find someone else, or I don't really wanna, I don't want a relationship. Basically, every person that says I don't want a relationship, that's avoidant. That's for some reason. To be fair, regardless of the reason that they say I'm not looking for a relationship, that's just avoidant straight away. Straight away, that's avoidant. Okay, there is no reason for you not to want to go into a relationship, if that makes sense. Obviously, if you think that the person in front of you is okay, but then you don't. I don't want to be too black and white here, but for the most part, secure people, if they like the person in front of them, whatever their circumstances are, they're gonna at least try and work out the situation and make the relationship work. Okay, this is what secure people. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, but you've tried. People that don't even try and they go, I'm not really looking for this, not really. This is avoidant straight away. Avoidant people, they really don't want to get hurt. Okay, some people, they don't even do it consciously, but they're just not comfortable with closeness. Okay, being close kind of activates their, what do they say? What was the word? They used the word in the book. The system. What system though? Attachment system. What's the word? Yeah, whatever. Their defense mechanism, and they need to pull away. As soon as they feel a little bit of closeness, they need to pull away because they start feeling insecure. What happens? So I'm too vulnerable in front of this person. I can't. Okay, and then you've got the anxious attachment style, which is, oh my god, she hasn't called me in an hour. Oh, what is she doing? Or she only answered with one word. What am I gonna do now? Maybe, oh, she doesn't like me. Does she like me? And then you start, oh, do you still like me? Do you hate me? Why you not? This is anxious. This is basically, this is being weak. You're insecure as well. Very insecure. You can go through many of them in your life. Ideally, you want to strive to become secure. But to be secure, I would say, because I've definitely, analyzing my own behavior, past behavior, I've definitely kind of gone through all stages or areas, all corners of this. I've been everywhere, up and down the spectrum. But you need to put in the work so you can actually get to a spot where you can say, my attachment style is secure. You're nice and calm, but to get to there, you need to be secure within yourself first. To be secure, what you need to do is what I've been talking about for the last 14 episodes. Not every single one, but I'm singing the same song pretty much every single time. You need to put in a lot of work. Philosophy is there for you. Philosophy makes a change. Philosophy can help you make the change. Philosophy makes the difference. Okay? It can get you from a not so good place to a really good place. Okay? Where you're actually secure because you know what you're about. Okay? And you can only find out what you're about, I believe, not from really getting tested, but from kind of building yourself. You need to decide that you're gonna build yourself a certain way. You're gonna make yourself a certain way. This is within all of us, within our power, to kind of recreate ourselves. And shape ourselves in the way that we want to. As I said in the last episode, the first step though is you have to want it and you have to believe that it's possible to do it. If you don't, then we need to take a step back and we need to start building belief from nothing. Okay, that being said, I've finished this book. Hopefully, maybe you can read the book, to be honest. Did I do the best job of explaining it? Not really, but you've got an idea. It wasn't anything, wow, like shocking or wow, my life is completely changed now. But it's a good framework to have. It's good because now when I look at people, I'm going to be looking for these clues. I'm going to be quicker to spot them. Okay, is it avoidant? Is it anxious? Or is that secure? Okay, I'm just going to start looking. And I might even, as a blunt, occasionally, but secure person, I might just say, you know what, there's this book for you. If you want to communicate with me, read that book first, please, just so you can see. I'm horrible. Can you imagine? I'll go out on a date with someone, talk to them for like half an hour and say, you know what, my dear, you've got an avoidant attachment style, so you really need to work on that. I will recommend this book. I'll write it down on the napkin. Boom. There's the napkin. Read the book and get back to me then. That's a good idea, to be fair. I might just do it. I might do it. But no, all jokes aside, if that even is a joke. Yeah, now, avoidant, anxious, insecure. Do your research. It really helps. It really helps to know what you're dealing with. Interesting fact, anxious attachment style is very often attracted to avoidant, and avoidant is kind of attracted to anxious as well. But avoidant and avoidant don't work, and anxious that don't work as well. So the opposites are attracted, but then everything kind of works. Avoidant and anxious work, and avoidant and secure. So secure works with everything. Secure and secure, that's fine. Secure and anxious, that's fine. Secure and avoidant, that's fine. But then avoidant and avoidant, not really. Anxious plus anxious, not really. So secure is your best bet. So try and get to that spot where you're secure. Okay, let's answer some questions now. I've been talking for half an hour with no questions. Let's see what's left. Also, if anyone has any questions about anything, send them to me, wherever. Okay, let's see. Can forgiveness truly heal, or does it merely mask the pain? Have I answered this before? I don't think I have. Can forgiveness truly heal, or does it merely mask the pain? Okay, the question sounds straightforward, but when I answer these questions, especially when it's something to do with like a negative concept or emotion, I've found that with time, the more I've progressed, like as a person, and the stronger my character has gotten, the more virtuous that I've become. Virtuous. I'm really struggling to not to understand, but let's say to understand all these negative, like let's say sad. it's kind of difficult for me, for my brain to comprehend sad. It's kind of as if I don't have the program anymore that runs that emotion. Does that make sense? I can't. It's, and I don't know why, but it's kind of the same with what I don't get. What is forgiveness? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop stuttering, and we're gonna go and check the definition of the word forgiveness. So to see like what exactly is forgiveness? Like what I'm not mad with this person anymore. Is that it? I think this is like the normal understanding. But then I don't even, when I think about it, how my brain works or where I've gotten it to, no, honestly, that it's weird to me. I'm not mad at someone. How can I don't? How would? Why would I be mad at someone to the point where I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? I forgive you. I don't know. And if I'm mad at someone, I don't know if I can forgive. Like, what? Okay, nothing happened. That's fine, mate. Nothing happened. I can't really be in the middle. I'm either not going to be mad, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to forgive. I can't really be in this gray area here where I might forgive, I might not. So let's see what forgiveness means exactly. I was talking obviously just from my personal standpoint, my personal point of view. So do not really get this as advice, okay, or as my opinion on the matter. I just shared my thought process at the moment, which is subject to change, hopefully, because you can see the uncertainty in my explanations here. Although I didn't really give an advice, I showed you my uncertainty. I showed you where I'm at mentally, where I've gotten to with this problem. And now I'm gonna try and get a better answer, okay? Maybe bring some clarity. So wherever I see a problem or a topic that I'm kind of uncertain, I need to acknowledge my own uncertainty and then start looking for an answer. I'm not gonna give advice when I'm uncertain, when I'm here. If I know that this for a fact, obviously not for scientific fact, but just with certainty, then I'm going to say, you know what, I think this is supposed to be this way because of this and that. Anyway, I'm just talking too much, not saying much as well. Hopefully you understood what I meant. Forgiveness. Forgive. Okay, forgive meaning. Stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. So stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone. So forgiveness is the act of stop being angry or resentful. So I was angry and resentful. I forgive them and I'm not anymore. Resentful. What is resentful? Not exactly. I know what resentful means, but to give accurate answers to questions, always make sure that you understand the question. Okay? Look how many times now I'm going on Google and I'm checking for definitions because I want to make sure the definition, I've got the definition on point. Okay, in my head, the definition is spot on. Okay, you cannot answer accurately if you don't understand the question. Okay, if the question is vague, make it clear, okay? Do not answer vague questions, okay? Vague questions can only get vague answers. And I don't want vague. No one likes vague, okay? That's why you're here, if you're watching. Because you don't want to vague this, vague that. You want some clarity. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of helping everyone, including myself, because this is even helpful for me. So I'm helping everyone bring some clarity into the thought process. I'm giving you tricks, techniques, and a little bit of information here and there about how to kind of improve the way you think, maybe a little bit of an advice about this. So you can pick and choose what you can use from all the things that I do and use them, see if they work. Feeling or expressing bitterness or indignation at having been treated unfairly. That's resentful. You know what? I can't answer because I've never, ever stopped feeling resentful towards someone that has offended me or has done something wrong towards me. So I can't really answer, guys. I'm not the person to ask about forgiveness. Maybe ask, I don't know, look at the Bible, ask Jesus Christ, but I cannot. I'm telling you, I'm just being completely honest. It's the way I am, right? Let's say I'm thinking of someone that's done something wrong. Given that person, whoever it is, they haven't apologized, okay? When they apologize, I'll give a second chance. I'll say, you know what, it's fine, everyone makes a mistake, that's okay. But let's say no apology. So now I need to find it within myself, be this angel and just forgive. I don't have it in me. I'm not sorry, I just don't have it in me, okay? I don't, whatever it is, maybe that action doesn't really bother me anymore. I'm not saddened by it. I'm not, oh my God, this. I don't care about it. Is this person now indifferent to me? Yeah, probably, yeah. But no, when I look at the person, do I see just like any person? Indifferent meaning like my definition of indifferent is just, let's say you walk past someone on the street. First time you've ever seen them, you don't even see the way they walk or whatever, because obviously, me personally, I can see someone walking on the street and they can piss me off just by the way they walk. Okay, it's just some people, you can just tell they're annoying or they do something wrong. Okay, so just you meet someone, some unknown person, you're indifferent to them, they're indifferent to you, but someone has done something wrong. Say even if it was long, it's in the past, it's gone now. There is no emotional tension left there. I look at that person and I still feel, that's my feeling. This, you can give a name. What am I feeling? This. Have I forgiven? I don't know how. I don't know how, and I don't see the benefit. Why would I forgive? Why? It's not fair. The wrong was what was wrong, and it was done to me. No apology. No change of behavior. Why would I forgive? For what? Oh, because you forgive. Because it benefits you. Because if you have a rope tied around your hand and you keep pulling it, Sometimes it's easier to let go. No, it's not. No, my hands are fine. You know, I don't care about this person. Okay, they have no impact on my life. But why would I forgive? Why? Much better for me. I think about it. Oh, look at that. Oh, you did that. Oh, you did that to me. Oh, wow. And it energizes me. Now I want to go. Okay. Now I want to go and do something. Now I'm gonna finish the podcast. I'm gonna read a book. I'm gonna do something with this energy. Okay. That resentment, I've got left this little bitter taste in my mouth just when I think about it. For me, this means not I'm emotionally negatively affected. So now, oh, you ruined my evening. No, for me, it purely means I felt it. I felt it. Resentment or whatever else you call that feeling. I felt it. That for me means energy. Boom. And now I've got like a surge of energy. Although, as I've said before, I'm not a really big energy guy. I don't really believe in it and stuff like that. I'm just using it because it's the easiest way to describe what's happening. But yeah, why would I want to let go? There is still something that I can take from it, something positive. But it's complex, it's complex. It's very easy to fall into this trap where you're just it's not easy to do. It's not easy to look at something negative and just use it as an energy source and not as something that would kind of poison you. It hopefully makes sense now. But I've trained myself, and I believe I've gotten to a point where it's quite easy for me. I do it all the time. So next question. I'm talking too much. You see, this injury even affected my podcast. You see how linked it is? Everything is linked. Your body. My body is not working properly at the moment. I cannot train. Because I cannot train, I've got this excess energy. I've put it into books, but it's not the same. Now I have so many things to say. I can just keep talking and talking and talking about a topic forever. Just because I cannot train. Next question. I can probably drag this podcast let's say I just had like 200 questions. I can probably answer all of them now. Just because I cannot train. I couldn't even get to the fight. 8-week training camp. 8 weeks. Every day. I put everything. Couldn't even get to the fight. And I look vulnerable now. As if I'm a we find strength and we move on. Let's delete the question that I just answered anyway. Can we truly forgive if we cannot? Okay, mate. No, we cannot truly forgive. Final answer. No, we can't. No forgiveness. Unless you apologize. Unless you get an apology, then, okay, forgive. 3 times max. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. You forgive 3 times max if this person is really special to you. If he's not, 2 times. And if you don't know him 1 time, he does it again. Chop, chop. Okay, pull out the katana. Whap, whap. Slice and dice, baby. Ah. Okay. Damn, that's a long pause. I keep reading. I thought I deleted everything that I didn't need. Just while I'm at it. Look at the t-shirt. I've got it again. You can't teach Tika, baby. Dan Hooker. The hangman. You cannot teach Tika, meaning heart. Meaning what I have. I don't have a heart. I have Tika. Just ticks. It keeps going. Like me, I keep going. I just keep going. See, that's self-talk now. This is self-talk. You cannot teach Tika. You have it or you don't. Okay, is it possible to truly understand someone else's perspective, or are we forever confined to our own subjective experience? Okay, so listen now. I'm gonna try and give a simple answer to this question. It is not possible to depending on what you mean by truly understand someone else's perspective. What is truly understand? Is it possible to, like, let's say completely understand someone else's perspective? No, you cannot. You can never understand someone else's perspective completely. Why? Well, because you can never be them. This is the only way, like logically, philosophically, however else you want to put it, to completely understand someone else. We need to accept the fact that we are confined to our own personal point of view. Okay, our subjective experience. This is nicely put in the question. Okay, so you've got your subjective point of view, your reference point, and this is it. The smarter you are, the more knowledgeable you are, then you're gonna become more likely to understand exactly how this other person feels or what they think, or you can put yourself in their shoes. That's why it's good to read books, okay? Because you just gain knowledge. You read about different things. When I read about philosophy and about psychology, I get into the heads of all these great people, great minds. They're expressing a different opinion, different point of view, okay? I read different stories, okay? By stories, I mean like biographies. People explain, like telling their own story, okay? What makes them tick. So kind of, in a way, I interact or I see the insight, or obviously whatever they want to show, of many people and many different people. This is why it's good to be curious and to engage with different subjects, to be interested in different topics. Like, look at this book. This is Jimmy Carr. He's a comedian. I've read his book. Okay, that's his autobiography. Okay, then on this side, you've got what? You've got Mike Tyson. They've got nothing in common. Okay, then over there, I've got who? I've got Arsene Wenger. I've got Johan Cruyff. Okay, I've got David Goggins. I've got Pep Guardiola. I've got people from just random areas. I've got Elon Musk behind me. I've got Phil Knight, which is Nike's founder. I keep reading. and I expand my understanding about people. So then when I meet someone else, when I'm trying to kind of put myself in their shoes, I'm trying to understand them. I've got such rich experience, okay? I've got such wide variety of knowledge, yeah, that is much easier for me, okay? So I can be much more accurate. Although I cannot completely understand, I can understand better than what I would have been able to if I didn't read as much. That's why reading is so important. The more you read, you start developing a more complex picture of the world. Okay, you keep adding layers with every book you read, given that the book is a proper book and is challenging for you. You keep adding layers to your worldview, the easier it becomes for you to understand someone else. It's logical. If you only see the world in three colors, red, green, and blue, for example, then when you look at a person, and you're going to be seeing one of these three colors, if that makes sense. If you have the whole rainbow, we're using rainbow literally, not figuratively. Okay, if you have the whole spectrum of colors, then you see nuance. Okay, that's why it's important. So, but otherwise, let me give you a different point of view. In philosophy, we've got this thing which is called solipsism. Solipsism philosophy. I'll read it for you, so I don't need to explain it. Okay, so solipsism, before I read it, in short, is the theory that you are the only thing that exists, and everything else that goes around you is just happening in your head. Okay, so the experience that you have of the world, of all other people, this is just something imaginary that is being played in your head. So you're the only being that exists. This is, in short, solipsism, which is very interesting theory. Okay, let's read now what does Wikipedia say. Solipsism, from Latin solus, meaning alone, logically, and ipse, meaning self, is the philosophical idea that only one's mind is sure to exist. As an epistemological position, solipsism holds that knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is unsure. Yeah, okay. Basically, yeah, they're starting a bit. Okay, all right then. This is what René Descartes said when he said, "I think, therefore I am." Okay, he was a skeptic, so he questioned everything. Everything. He wanted to find real knowledge. Okay, he wanted to find true knowledge. What cannot be questioned. And he kept going deeper and deeper, but he got to a place where he was like, I can question it, I can doubt everything. Am I? And he kept looking for a thing that he could not possibly doubt. He was like, okay, am I alive? Okay, not even am I alive. He went, okay, what if this is all a dream? What if I'm asleep now? Can I prove that I'm not in a dream? Maybe living in a dream? No. Okay. Move on, something else. Can I prove that you exist? No. Okay, something else. So he kept going deeper and deeper. Okay, until he got to that point, which was, I think, therefore I am. So this is the only thing, the only absolute truth out there. Whenever someone asks you, this is the only thing that is known for certain. I think, therefore I am. So I think, therefore I exist. So wherever you are, in whatever shape, form, whatever universe it is, if it's a universe, if it's not, maybe you exist within your own mind, maybe you're the only being in the universe, and everything else is just a projection. Okay, everything else is just like a movie that you play in your mind. You have to exist because you're thinking. That means you exist somewhere, somehow, in some shape or form. Okay, all right, let's just finish reading. As an epistemological position, solipsism holds that knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is unsure. Exactly what I just said. The external world and other minds cannot be known and might not exist outside the mind. That's what I just said. Okay, so this is solipsism. I'm not really gonna, let's see. Mere denial of material existence in itself does not necessarily constitute solipsism. Okay. All right. And obviously, while we're here now, material existence. I'll just give you the three kind of main schools of thought in philosophy. So most people kind of hold one of these particular views. So one of them is materialism. Okay. Everything. What is materialism? Materialism is basically, let's put it somehow short, that everything I can touch exists. Let's see. Let me be accurate. I'm usually way better than this, but I don't seem to have the patience to calm down and explain my thoughts. I'm rushing. Anyway, materialism. Okay, that's it. The theory or belief that nothing exists except matter. Okay, so nothing apart from matter. Everything that exists is observable. Okay, matter. All right. Then we've got idealism. This is basically idealism is the metaphysical view that associates reality to ideas in the mind rather than to material objects. Okay? Meaning, idealism says, no, matter is not necessary. Okay? Because things exist first in your mind. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, the view that associates reality to ideas in the mind. So, reality is in here. Okay? Everything that exists is in here. So that means maybe you just have this experience of matter, okay? But you might just be experiencing it within your mind. Matter might not exist, okay? There is no reason for matter to exist, if that makes sense, okay? It's not necessary. Being a materialist, this adds a layer. So now you need matter, okay? You need something pretty much outside yourself to exist, so you can be materialist. So you're going one step further. So idealism is much simpler. Idealism cannot be disproved pretty much. Okay, I'm going to tell you that much. And then you have dualism. So this is basically a bit of both. In short, I'm trying to simplify all that so it kind of makes sense and I'm not just reading text. Dualism, according to the dualists, the mind or the soul, blah blah blah, is comprised of a non-physical substance, while the body is constituted of the physical substance known as matter. Okay. Mind-body dualism. The philosophy of mind-body dualism denotes either view that mental phenomena are non-physical, mind and the body are distinct and inseparable. So dualism is both exist. Okay, so ideas, the mind exists, but also your brain exists. So this is dualism. Most people that never think about this, they are mostly dualists. Okay, they'll say, oh yeah, my body exists, but philosophers, some of them are materialists, but materialists, it's more cold, you know. You need to be a certain type of person to be a materialist. Then idealist, as I said, idealism cannot be disproved. You cannot. So, okay, last question. 1 hour and 5 minutes in. I've gone way too deep with philosophy today. Apologies if it's a bit tough to get through. But all the questions I've got left are kind of heavy. Okay. I'll answer this. I need something more fun. Is depression real? Is depression real? Why are you trying to kill me with a question? Definition for depression. A lot of definition. Feelings of severe despondency and dejection. Listen, depression, I'm pretty sure there is like clinical. No, you know what? As a philosopher, as I said, self-proclaimed blue belt in philosophy, I don't really believe in depression. I can't. But I said earlier, the way that my mind works at the moment, after all these books and all that I've done, I've read and whatever, all I know, it's very difficult for me to, as I read there, for a prolonged period of time, feeling down or unhappy, sad. I can't. It's physically impossible for me. My mind does not work that way. For some people, their minds, maybe they do, but I believe it's because they're not strong enough yet. Okay, so for me, I can't see it as real. Nothing can depress me. Okay, there is nothing that can hold me down for a prolonged period of time. Okay, it's my mindset works. Okay, let's say just my mindset works in a different way. My mindset works in an upward direction, if we can say that. Meaning, wherever I am, I'm looking to move up. Even if I'm at the lowest point, I've got this internal drive of moving up. Okay? It's not even, I was gonna say it's like a game for me. It's not. It's just natural. I've internalized it. I've made it feel natural. It wasn't always like that. Obviously I felt sad or bad before. Okay, I wasn't always like this. The way I'm trying to present myself now. No, I'm not. I'm not putting a front. Okay, I'm not pretending. It's just the way I am now. I'm not pretending. It's just who I am. I cannot be held down. You can't teach ticker, baby. I can't be held down. Whatever. Lightning can fucking strike me tomorrow. I'll be back up, going. Okay. This inner drive, I've nurtured it. It's become so strong that it's unstoppable now. It will push me forever. It will push me forever. I cannot be held down. I've definitely felt depressed before. I know how it feels. Okay, I understand it. But it seems very distant to me now. so distant to the point where I cannot conceive of it happening to me ever again. It's just not possible. So if what I just said, if I've gone through this journey, then I find it very difficult to believe that there is this depression like a sickness or whatever it is, illness, condition. I say, oh, but I think, I'm pretty sure I've heard some people like clinical depression or whatever it is. Let's say you don't have enough of whatever hormone, some hormone deficiency. I don't know what it is. But then if you think about it, hormones, just your thoughts, your actions, and everything you do, you're a living organism. Your own actions can change all your hormonal balance and everything. So then, for me, logic at least, as I say, little open brackets, where I'm at now, logically, for me to say that depression is real, that means this, let's call it illness, has such a strong hold of me that I no longer can practice I can no longer have free will. It's crushed my will. So I can no longer make a decision for myself. Because if I have the strength to make one decision, which is good, maybe go and work out, maybe go and do something, read a book, okay, force myself to get up and maybe do something, okay? If you can no longer impose your own will on yourself, then obviously for depression to be real, for you to be unable to fight it, then it becomes really difficult. The argument for free will, it becomes difficult for me. Again, I need to understand and remember that I'm only a blue belt in philosophy, so I might be talking complete rubbish at the moment in the years of a black belt, but I'm betting most people that listen to this are not black belts in philosophy, so then you're not going to be able to catch me with a logical fallacy. So I feel pretty good about what I just said. Okay, I'm convinced there is a link there between depression and free will. I believe if you truly believe that free will exists, which is obviously a concept in philosophy, I don't see how you can fault in front of depression. I just don't see it. I feel like you're going to be strong enough to deal with it because your belief is that free will exists, so you can decide what you do and what happens. Okay? If you don't have that belief, then I think maybe depression can get you. It's probably real. It's difficult to give a question. For me personally, it's not. I cannot be depressed. Cannot. Not anymore. I could before. But I worked hard. I read a lot of books. My mind is open now. And my will is strong. Through any adversity, I shall be victorious. Okay, that's it for this week. I'll be back next week with 16, sorry. And we go again. We just put in the work day by day, keep getting better. And ribcage is still messed up, but it will get better. See, one more episode in the bag. One foot in front of the other, we move on. Whoever comes. Strong enough to take it. Okay. Thank you for listening and watching, or both. And I'll be back next week.